Hi everyone, Paul, he, him, his pronouns, Vermont State University's Chief Diversity Officer. I'm so happy to be here with Nyrah today as a part of the Every Person Has a Story series, where we're trying to showcase just a little bit of who our students are, who our faculty and staff are, and to be able to uplift and share their stories with the world. So welcome, Nyrah. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Of course.
Can you please just start by sharing your name? If you want to share your pronouns, great. What you're studying here at Vermont State University and how long you've been a student here.
So my name is Nyrah. I go by she, her, and I'm studying environmental science here at Vermont State. And did you say why I go here?
Or like, how long have you been here?
Oh, this is my first year here. So
Okay.
I've only been here for one semester.
Okay.
This is my second semester. I find it very different being here in college, opposed to high school,
Okay.
which is to be expected, but I do enjoy it, yeah.
What's one thing that's different for you?
Well, actually, I'm from New York City, so one major difference being here in Vermont is just like the change of scenery. I'm used to fast-paced city life, which is not really here at Castleton, but it's actually one of the pluses because it's nice being outside the city, especially because, like I said, I'm an environmental science major and I'm literally surrounded by nature all the time, so it really helps in terms of my learning process.
Nice, nice. I don't know if you know, but I was born and raised in Manhattan as well, so also familiar with being from New York City.
Yeah.
So why did you choose to study here at Vermont State University? I know you talked a little bit about the kind of environment here, but was there like a program that might have drawn you to the university, or did you visit it with family and just kind of, envision yourself here?
So, I actually have a cousin who is a professor at Drexel, and he's an environmental engineer professor. And I was looking into environmental schools that had environmental science programs, and Vermont State was pretty high on the list, actually. So it was already like one of the schools I was looking at. However, when I toured the school with my parents, I was like, I really want to go here. Like, I felt like it was more like impactful than any other school that I visited. And like I said, it is surrounded by nature.
Yeah.
I like that I got a chance on the tour that I went on. After the tour, I actually did have a chance to talk to one of the environmental science program professors, Dr. Vermillier, and he kind of like helped me realize that I like the programs, I like where it goes, I like that you get to go outside for some of the classes, and actually like do field work. So yeah, like I knew as soon as I came here.
Nice. That's awesome. Are there any extracurricular activities or clubs that you're active in? And if so, like, why are you active in them?
I am active in the Multicultural Club, and I work here in the SSA's building, or office. And I'm active in the Multicultural Club because I'm a first-generation American. Both my parents are from the Caribbean. My dad's Jamaican and my mom's from Barbados. And so I like really relate to like people that aren't even from this country more so than people that are, because I didn't really grow up in that environment with like most people I grew up with were also first-generation Americans. So I relate to like people talking about being outside the country. And I just find it very helpful adjusting to this school because New York City is very diverse and Vermont is not as diverse. However, I do get that little slice of diversity from that club. And so yeah, I really like that. I really like being there and participating in like the different cultural events that we do, and just learning about different countries from wherever anyone's from there. And I like working at the SSA's office because I think it gives me a chance to not only like have like a work schedule to prepare me for after I leave college, but also because in the student success office, it's in the name. It's for student success.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to go to my advisor whenever she has free time to help me to just do homework while I'm working. It's very calm and relaxing of a job because there's not really too much stress involved. You just kind of help people go to where they need to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a nice way to still get schoolwork done, but also having that work life.
Right. Right. Well, that's great. So glad that you found a club like the Multicultural Club, an office like the Student Success Office for all of the reasons that you said. Especially, given a first year kind of student experience and, trying to find, your footing and your people, all of those things I think are really important. And again, it's so great that you have those kind of small communities as well. Well, I know that there are probably, many, many, many stories that you could share that would help us get to know you a little bit better. I was curious if there was one story of all of those stories that you might be open to sharing that would help us get to know who you are as an individual better.
So one thing that I think really points to who I am is the fact that both my parents actually met in the military. So up until I was 2, both my parents were still in the military, and then my mom retired, but my dad was still in the military. So a lot of my early childhood I spent traveling outside of the country because my dad would often be moved around from base to base. Okay. So I've been to Germany, I've been to places in Africa, a bunch of places. Well, I shouldn't just say Germany, I've been to a bunch of places in Europe.
Okay.
But that really led to who I am now because I love traveling. And even like being away from home, as much as I miss being home, I also like the experience of going out and trying new things because I had like that life experience when I was little of just being in a new environment and seeing like what the world is like. I think it's given me a different perspective on the world, especially because a lot of times I feel like people have such a hard time understanding those who are different from them. But because I've seen so many different people, I've met so many different people, I think it helps to know that I can somehow like talk to them and like understand people's points of view, where they're coming from, their values, their opinions. I love traveling. I feel like if I had the opportunity in whatever job I decide to pursue, I would immediately take up any traveling position.
Okay.
And yeah, I would like to think that that's like a major part of who I am because even like this is like 4 hours away from New York City.
Right. Yeah.
And I could go literally anywhere and I think I would love it because I just like the fact that it's somewhere new, somewhere different, that I can like learn about the people there and like what life is like in a whole new place.
Yeah. What branch did your parents serve in?
So both my parents were in the Army.
Okay.
My dad had many different jobs because he went straight out of high school.
Okay.
So there's a lot there, but my mom was a coordinator, and I forget, she was a specialist after that, but I forget exactly what it was. I just know that it entails working with civilians, so both of them like traveled a bunch, and my mom has like these crazy stories that she always tells me from when she used to like, she went on 2 tours. And she tells me like all these stories about how like meeting up with civilians and like getting to know them was like a major part of like growing up. Well, not growing up because like I said, she's not from America, but like her experience here in America, despite the fact that she wasn't in the country, she said that it was nice because when she came back to the U.S., where there are so many different kinds of people that live in the States. She can always like relate to them somehow because it was nice to know like, oh, like I've been to whatever country that person's from, like I know like these little details that like it's easy to connect to people.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing. Thank you obviously to your family for their service to our nation in that way. I really appreciated hearing about your experience living in all of these different places all around the world. And what I think is really important about that piece is also what that has enabled you to be able to think about doing in the future as part of your career. I do think that sometimes people are hesitant to go to a different country to be able to do work. But that type of experience that you've had, it seems like, has set you up, really well for that.
Yeah, I mean, it is hard going away from home because obviously home is where your support system is, where you can easily get help no matter what. However, I do think it is important to go outside of those bubbles because being exposed to like new ideas and new opinions is like very helpful for the mind. It's challenging to your own beliefs and your own morals. It makes you really think, is this important to me? Is this what I want? Is this how I want to live my life, you know? And yeah, being exposed to like different cultures, different everything, to be honest. It's just like, it's a good experience to have in every aspect because it really puts you out your bubble, puts you at your comfort zone, and makes you think.
A lot of wisdom in that. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time sharing your story with us. I really enjoyed getting to know you a little bit and where you've come from and what you're doing here at the university. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.